गुड आफ्टरनून एवरीबॉडी। कैसे हैं आप लोग? इज एवरीबॉडी हैप्पी? हैप्पी एज वेल एज सेफ एट योर होम्स। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, टुडे that is on 7th September 2020, in our 12th economics lecture, as you know already, you have watched the videos that we have started our 4th chapter, that is determination of income and employment. Students, don't get confused in numbering of the chapters. Why so I am saying? Because in reference books, this chapter which I told you now, the determination of income and employment, in reference books it's on number 3, and in your NCERT book it is on number 4. Why so? Very simple reason, because the part A which we are learning, that is your introductory macroeconomics. Part A which we have started of your 12th economics, that is introductory macroeconomics. So in your NCERT book, chapter number 1 is same itself, that introductory macroeconomics means introduction. Chapter number 1 is introduction, and so on. But in case of our reference book, introduction, this chapter is not specified that like this. Means in reference books, number 1 is not given like this, introduction. Because of this only, if it's very simple, don't get confused. If your counting starts from introduction number 1, then this chapter which I have started, that is introductory that is determination of income and employment, then it will be number 4 as per your NCERT books. And if that chapter number 1 introduction is not like in the reference books, then it is chapter number 3. So don't get confused by the numbering. Keep in mind the name of the chapter, that is as per your NCERT book, chapter number 4. What is that? Which we are learning last so many days? Determination of income and employment. Determination of income and employment. So this chapter we have already started long back, and it is one of the lengthy chapters of your 12th economics part A, that is introductory macroeconomics. So it is one of the lengthy chapters, determination of income and employment. Dear students, in the last lecture, or we can say that in the last video, we had covered the saving function, graphical presentation of the saving function, that is diagrammatic presentation of the saving function, as well as I had finished the relationship between the propensity to consume and propensity to save. So I can say that your consumption function as well as saving function is completed from my side. In the same chapter, that is determination of income and employment, our today's topic which we are going to learn is that short run equilibrium output. What is that? Today's topic is short run equilibrium output. It is our today's topic, short run equilibrium output. Dear students, in this, today we are going to cover first the concept of short run. First, what we are going to learn, the concept of short run. Concept of short run. So, attend here once again. Dear students, once again welcome in my YouTube channel. I think introduction is not required, but then also myself Shubhrasad sir from Shubhra Singh Children Academy. Once again welcome in my YouTube channel. Let's start today's discussion. As I told you that today's topic is short-run equilibrium output, and in that we are going to cover the concept of short run. Dear students, short run and long run, these are the main two concepts of the economy, of any economy. If we talk about short run, so short run is that period. Run means period. Short run is that period in which technological advancement is not possible. Technological advancement is not possible, and in such a case, according to Keynes, short run is defined as a period of time during which technology plays no role. Technology plays no role. These are the statements of Keynes. You know Keynes, the famous economist. No role of the technology during the short run. Same thing I told you in this way, that technological advancement not possible, no change in the technology. Same thing can be said like this also. If we talk about that the concept of the production, the concept of supply, or we can say that aggregate demand and aggregate supply. So during short run, no producer will introduce new machines or new technology. Why so? Because it is short run period, just for short period. So that's why Keynes said directly that technology plays no role during short run period. So if the technology plays no role, means technology is remaining constant, there is a one-to-one relationship between output and employment. If technology plays no role, during short run period, then there is a one-to-one relationship between output and employment. What did I say? One-to-one relationship between output and employment. Yes, dear students, once again I would like to draw your attention that what we are discussing the concept of short run, and in that I have already told you that during short run period technological advancement is not possible. Technology is constant during short run. Means what? Technology plays no role according to Keynes. Over here there is a one-to-one relationship between output and employment. One-to-one relationship between output and employment. In other words, we can say that if any producer want to increase the level of employment, attend here please everybody towards the statement which I am going to draw now. What I am saying, listen it very carefully. One-to-one relationship means what? If any producer want to increase the output, if any producer want to increase the level of output, so how the level of output can be increased during short run? Producer want to increase the level of output. As I told you that technology plays no role during the short run. It means what? Technology is constant. So technology is constant, then how that output can be increased? By increasing the level of employment. Means what? If the level of employment is increased, then simultaneously output will be also increased. Dear students, if we talk about the employment is doubled, output will also be doubled. Means what? Over here, as I told you, if any producer or the economy is doubling the level of employment, then it's very obvious, it's very clear that output level will be also doubled. The level of employment in the economy measures the level of output. Level of employment measures the level of output. This output is nothing but your GDP. What did I say? This output is nothing but It is your GDP. Level of employment measures the level of output, that is level of GDP. If the level of employment is doubled, then the GDP will be doubled. Yes, agreed or not? You're getting me? Accordingly, output cannot increase once there is a full employment in the economy. Means what? If there is a full employment, then level of output cannot be increased. Attend towards this line. If the level of employment is full, then the level of output cannot be increased. Means what? Such a situation will arise that level of employment as well as level of output both are equal. Means level of employment can be increased to up to certain extent. Afterwards, it cannot be increased. That is called as full or the complete level of employment. Beyond that, output cannot be increased. So, over here we finished the concept of short run. Got it, everybody? Okay. Now, the second concept of today's lecture which we are going to discuss. Let me first rub out this. The second concept of today's lecture is concept of equilibrium output. It is second concept which we are going to discuss. Concept of equilibrium output, that is your GDP. Concept of equilibrium output. First concept which I discussed today, it was the concept of short run, and today's second concept which we are going to discuss is concept of equilibrium output, that is GDP. Just now I told you that just now we discussed that level of the relationship between level of employment and level of output. We discussed that if the level of employment is doubled, the level of output also will be doubled. Then later on we draw conclusion that level of employment is increased up to certain extent. Beyond that, level of employment cannot be increased. Then output cannot be increased. After that, means the point comes, beyond that employment cannot be increased. No doubt there is a direct relationship between or one-to-one relationship between employment and output. If during short run we increase the level of employment, output will be increased, but up to certain extent. If we reach to the level of full employment, then beyond that level of output cannot be increased. Anyway, it was our first concept which we discussed today under the topic short run equilibrium output. Today's second concept which we are going to discuss is concept of equilibrium output, that is GDP. My dear students, over here once again we will have to take the help of aggregate demand as well as aggregate supply, which you have already learned in the that previous topics. Earlier we have discussed the concept of aggregate demand as well as aggregate supply. Both are discussed earlier. Once again, I am going to revise it today because it is needed over here in this discussion. Aggregate demand is nothing but it is a total demand of the household, or we can say that the consumers for future purposes, means how much they are going to consume in the future, how much they are going to spend in the future, the total level of consumption, by the households in the near future or in the accounting year, in a particular accounting year, that is called as aggregate demand. If you talk that what is aggregate supply is nothing but the talk from the producer's side, that it is the total quantity of the goods which the producers are going to produce in a particular accounting year. So the same thing is discussed over here in a different way. Equilibrium output or equilibrium GDP or equilibrium income refers to that level of output in the economy where aggregate supply equal to aggregate demand. It is that level where aggregate supply equal to aggregate demand. Means what? That how much the producers are desired to supply, same is desired to be purchased by the consumers or the households. So aggregate supply equal to the aggregate demand, or we can say that over here, as I told you that aggregate supply, the meaning I told you, and aggregate demand meaning I told you. My dear students, equality between aggregate supply and aggregate demand implies the equality between Y and aggregate demand. Means same equation which I have written over here on the board, that aggregate supply equal to aggregate demand, the same equation can be written like this also, that Y equal to aggregate demand. Y equal to aggregate demand. This Y means what? We have already studied. Income is denoted by Y. So income equal to aggregate demand. This equation is also can be drawn. Here Y denotes income and Y equal to as already discussed in the chapter. Or we can say that over here that Y equal to S means aggregate supply equal to aggregate demand, and Y is equal to aggregate demand. It also can be written like this, that Y is equal to aggregate supply, as we have already discussed. So my dear students, this concept of equilibrium output is we are finishing over here. So let's I am going to summarize the concept of equilibrium output, that is GDP. As I told you earlier, the meaning of aggregate supply is already learned by us. It is discussed by us in my earlier videos. Aggregate demand is also discussed by me in earlier videos. So I'm sure that the meaning of aggregate demand as well as aggregate supply is already cleared and understood by you people. So what is the concept of equilibrium output during short run? Is that a situation when aggregate supply equal to aggregate demand means how much is desired by the producers to be produced and supplied in the market, same is desired to be purchased by the consumers during a particular accounting year. It can be written like this also, that Y is equal to AD, that is income is equal to AD, or the same can be written like this also, that Y is equal to aggregate supply. Y means income. So dear students, over here I would like to stop today. I am going to stop my lecture. What we learned today? Today we learned two concepts. First one we learned about short-term concept, and the second one we learned about the concept of equilibrium output in the same chapter which we have already started, that is determination of income and employment. So dear students, that's all for the day. Thank you very much for kind cooperation.